everyone. Somebody asked me when the pandemic will be over. And that's really a tough question because we may find some treatments for it that make it easy. It'd be like asking when we had AIDS. When will AIDS be over? Well, we still have AIDS today, so it's not over, but we found a way to treat it. So with that said, I'm going to change that question to when will it be something that we can manage and go about our normal lives? Because I think really that's more what that person really wants to know. We may never go back to kind of normal the way we were before, but I think eventually we will. It'll just be a while before we figure out how COVID acts in the body and what we need to do to best treat it. Just like now when people get AIDS, it's not a death sentence anymore. Still not something you want, and it still is something around. So we're just going to go ahead and ask when we get a handle on it, when we are able to kind of have more control over it and treat it and make people better from it, because I think that's what it'll come down to. So I already did a reading that says it does get better during the summertime, and I do truly believe that. That reading also said it does get worse in the fall, and especially with all the people wanting no more social distancing and no masks and, fighting for all that stuff. I mean, you could see how it could easily come back if we don't have a treatment in the fall by then, if there's people that aren't taking measures to prevent it. So unfortunately, they may spread it to other people. So let me go ahead and ask when we will get a grip on it, when we will have a treatment for it, when we will have it under control is really what I want to ask. And the way I'm going to go about it is asking how many months it'll be, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months. And then I'm going to ask, I guess, a year and a half, 2 years, something like that. So I think within that time, hopefully we should have some control over it and be able to go about our lives more normally. So let's go ahead and ask about 3 months from now. Will we have control over COVID 3 months from now? And I'm going to probably pick 2 cards for each. I don't know. We'll see. I always say I'm going to pick a certain amount of cards. That was the tower that fell over. That's not a good card to see in 3 months. Some people say the cards that pop out are significant. We usually don't read them, but sometimes they do end up popping out again. So within 3 months, let's see what we have there. Okay, I have this card for within 3 months. Maybe I'll just pick one. And maybe we'll flip it as we go. I don't know. Decisions, how to do it. Let's see what we've got. Okay, within 3 months is the Ace of Swords, and I actually have had this card again before. So what is it? April, May, June, July, August. I think maybe, I take it as this is a vaccine card. I truly do. I think maybe they're going to get the vaccine created. And I think it might be available in the fall. I do think there's going to be a resurgence of it. So within 3 months is looking pretty good. And I think that's a vaccine. When I see that card, I think a vaccine. So I think maybe they'll create the vaccine within 3 months. Of course, then it has to go through trials. And I think there are some trials now already, maybe for some of the things that they've created. So let's see. So within 3 months, I think the vaccine is going to be created. Let's see what happens within 6 months. Will we have COVID under control within 6 months? Problem with COVID is it is mutating. One of my other readings said it is, and then I read about it, and it's mutated a bunch of times. Tell us about within 6 months, and it's this card right here. It's already kind of yanking out at me. Okay, and I've seen this too before. So this is the card about COVID that disturbs me, because it's the Five of Swords, and I've seen this card represent COVID. So it's a sneaky card, right? And it's somebody kind of going and stabbing people in the back, stabbing them with swords and getting them. I want to interpret this as it mutates, and the vaccine that they create is not maybe effective for what this new mutation is. That's the way I'm looking at it. I think when I see it, I see COVID getting the upper hand on the vaccine. So meaning in my logical mind, not my tarot mind, my logical mind, I say, okay, that's probably COVID mutating back in the fall into a different type of COVID that can affect people again. So within 6 months, I don't think the situation is going to be good for us. But I do think there's some hope there that we do get a vaccine for one type of it anyway. It's an interesting virus because it's jumping from from animals to people and then back to animals again. The animals in the zoo, I mean, how would they have gotten it but from people? So it's clearly each time it goes into a different species, it's probably changing a little bit. So let's see what's happening within 6 to 9 months. I'm at fall, and I've heard in my readings a resurgence in fall, and I'm seeing a resurgence in fall here. So let's see within 9 months what's going to go on. 9 months with COVID. What's going to happen in 9 months with COVID? All right, I've got a card here. What will happen in 9 months with COVID? Okay, it's this card right here. And that's the Wheel of Fortune. So that's a turn for the better. That is, I think, again, another discovery that we get fortunate. There's more discoveries that things are starting to turn in our favor. I think we're going to have a kind of a bad dip there for a little while in the fall, and then I think things are going to start getting better. I'm going to say this wheel is a discovery, a turn for the better. It's a discovery. So that is 3, 6, 9 months out. Let's see within a year where we are in relation to COVID. Still don't like that fall card. It's not looking good for us in fall. Tell me about a year from now with COVID. How are we doing a year from now with COVID? I do feel like there is a card right here. A year from now with COVID. Okay, it's this one. Okay, so that is the Eight of Wands, and that's she's hurrying fast. She's going in a new direction, and I see this card as going quickly into a new direction and leaving the old stuff behind you is the way I read the Eight of Wands. Very often, that's what it means to me. So I think a year from now, we will be leaving COVID behind us. We will be hopeful. Travel again, I do believe, will open up. And I just think we'll be in a much better place. So to wrap up, for that person who asked me when this is going to be over, I think a year from now, we're going to be in good shape. I think the next 3 months are going to be promising. That's the Ace of Swords, and this card, I'm telling you, is a COVID vaccine. I'm pretty darn sure it is. And I think it's created within 3 months from now, we start seeing real positive results from the people who are creating vaccines and maybe those people that are undergoing the trials right now. I think it's going to be real positive. But in the fall, we have a resurgence of COVID in the fall, regardless of the vaccine. And I think it's a sneaky little virus, and I think it mutates again and it gets a grip on us. But there is a change for the better. We have this Wheel of Fortune, and the fortune comes to us. The wheel is turning in our favor. So we are very lucky within 9 months that wheel is turning in our favor. And then I like to put these two together because you see how these cards are very similar colored. They very much are, it's saying wheel is turning, and it's going right into this direction of this woman. She's on her wand, traveling again. She's going very fast, and that we are just kind of, I think this is open back up and things are getting back completely to normal, I will say, in a year from now. 9 months, you're going to start seeing a real good turn in our favor. Some sketchy stuff in the fall, though, and that's a shame. But yeah, COVID kind of gets that resurgence in the fall, and that's too bad to see, but I've seen this in several of my readings. So, guys, I shouldn't push anything, but if you can get the vaccine, I would say get the vaccine because you don't want to be one of these people that COVID gets in the fall. It's not a good situation. But look out, 9 months from now, we're going to be, keep your faith because 9 months from now, we're going to be in a much better place. The wheel's turning in our favor. And a year from now, we are going to be back to normal. and happy and doing our thing. So, guys, hang in there. It's a real tough time in our country, and especially if you're in the United States. We see what's happening, and it's just devastating to see all these people dying and to hear about it constantly. So, know that this is temporary, though. It really is. And our summer's going to be okay. We're going to get a little bit better in the summertime. My other readings have said we will too. I think it dies down with the heat. It will resurge in the fall, but then we're going to beat this, guys. We are. Next year, this time, we're going to be back to normal. Okay? So, with that said, hang in there and good luck to everybody. And do what you can in the meantime to try to avoid this virus. Take care.